Yes, I know, you are about to write a comment to set me straight on what a proper cutlet is, because in your mind a cutlet is a special cut with a bone and a bit of meat encased within it, and you would be absolutely correct. However, these look nothing like it. So what the hell are they? Well, these are what people who live behind the Iron Curtain ironically called a cutlet, and this recipe can help you feed your family for a week at relatively low cost. Living in the socialist workers' paradise behind the Iron Curtain, people couldn't get their hands on a decent piece of meat, so we had to make do with whatever we could find. Normally, I would use the most useless cut to make this, but I live in the United States, where I enjoy the fruitful abundance of the decadent capitalism. So I can't even get that sort of meat here. It simply would not pass the FDA approval. Therefore, I will substitute it with this lovely organic ground beef and pork from the local butcher. If you prefer not to eat pork, you can substitute that with lamb. The authentic recipe calls for some bits of stale white bread. I don't have that, but croutons will do just as well. I'm using regular ones without any artificial cheese or garlic flavor. There will be plenty of real garlic in the mix anyway. Half a pound of beef and half a pound of pork, ground in this case, but you can use any cut you like. Some chopped up bitter onion that I have prepared earlier, and fresh white bread from the bakery. Do not use sliced bread from a supermarket. That is not bread. You do not want to know what it's made from. Use real bread, please. Not sweet, not sour, just normal white bread from the baker. Some salt, fresh pepper, and a whole large head of garlic. The garlic will help your cutlets survive in the fridge longer, it keeps the vampires away, and it makes things taste better. There is also one secret ingredient. I will show you later. First, we need to grind the croutons to a powder. Do this first before you smear the meat all over the meat grinding machine. I'm going to use about 3/4 of a bag for convenience. And yes, I munched on the other quarter while I was setting up for the filming session. I mean, wouldn't you? Next, we'll measure out 2 ounces of bread and soak it in water. You may use 4 ounces of bread instead of 2, but I find it a bit too much. Note, my grandma used to soak the bread in milk, but honestly, I don't feel any difference if it's soaked in water. So we might as well use the water and save the milk for better things. Mix the ground pork and the beef in a bowl. Now the grinding and mixing procedure. Grab a handful of onions and a handful of beef and pork and a piece of soaked bread. Stick it in, grind it out. Continue this procedure to the end, but keep a bit of bread to go in last, so that pushes out the meat out of the machine as your final step. Clean up the remains from the machine and put the attachment into the wash. We're done with it. Next, peel the garlic. To do it fast, place the clove on a board, cover it with a broad flat of the knife and give it a soft smack. Grab a mortar and pestle, place the cloves in mortar along with 2 teaspoons of salt, some fresh pepper, and 1 or 2 teaspoons of the secret ingredient. What is this mysterious green powder, you wonder? It is a spice called Khmeli-Suneli, and it is spelled like this. It is practically an unobtainium in your local Walmart, but you may find it online. If you don't have it, use a teaspoon of whatever favorite spice that you think works great with meat dishes. Khmeli-Suneli comes from Georgia. Not the state of Georgia, but the country. Shout out to Georgians. This particular one was purchased in bulk from Georgia by Russia, who then exported to Belarus, who then packaged it and sold it to New York Trading Company, which in turn sold it to a lovely Ethiopian chap who runs a small rare goods store just a few exits from me. This spice gives my version a bit of a subtle, unique oriental flavor. If you do not have it, come up with your own spice or perhaps a mixture of spices, and that will be your very own signature secret family ingredient. Now put some English into it and vigorously smash things inside a mortar with the pestle as if there is no tomorrow. The garlic has to be squashed and mixed well with the salt, pepper and spice. Add that to the mix and knead it like you would knead a ball of dough. The mass has to be homogeneous. Prepare your assembly line for the frying part. You will need your bowl of crushed croutons next to the large skillet, your beef dough, a 1/4 cup measuring thingy, and a board. Use sunflower oil, not cooking or virgin olive oils. Virgin olive oil does not do well at high temperature, and cooking oil is liquid colon cancer. Also, they keep telling me. Now grab your 1/4 cup measuring thing and start making meat patties, like I do. Make a patty, flatten it like this, cover it with the crouton crumbs and throw it on the skillet. Cook them for 5 minutes on each side and you are done. To mitigate some of the oil spray, use net like this. You can find them at most kitchen supply stores. Do not cover them with a regular conventional lid though. Why? Because if you do, the steam will have no place to escape and your cutlets will be ruined. Note, since there is pork in there, make sure it is cooked. Do not eat medium raw pork. Ever. Today I will have mine with a side of mashed potato and a radish salad with sour cream. Tomorrow with refried rice, day after tomorrow with noodles, and day after that with some buckwheat porridge or something. Combined with the veg soup I showed you earlier, you can be set with dinners for a week. That is all for now. Enjoy!